You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
Right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, let's talk about this upcoming NFL draft. I'm glad one of the draft pundits has finally went there, finally had the testicular fortitude to do what I think should be done on every draft board. I don't get it. I don't understand what people were saying. Jackson Dart has got a stronger arm, and he's way more mobile than Shedeur Sanders, all right? Shedeur's a really good processor, but he's got some of the same flaws that Caleb Williams has got with hanging onto the ball too long, yada, 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 except he doesn't have Caleb Williams' escapability. It could be a recipe for disaster. Now, the one thing that Shedeur has got going for him is obviously because he's the son of Deion Sanders, he's going to be used to the spotlight. So, and I do think that's a thing, folks. But Jackson Dart, I think, and look, Jackson Dart reminds me of a slightly bigger Baker Mayfield. And you may be hearing that and like, what? Well, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Baker's thrown 70 touchdowns the last 2 years. And he should have been a top 5 MVP candidate, but the media wouldn't go there for Baker. Baker had a gargantuan year with the Buccaneers. He should still be the Cleveland Browns quarterback. He's not. So let's take a look at this. I heard this today. By the way, if you're coming from one of the other Black and White sports channels, make sure you subscribe. We will do a lot of NFL, a lot of NC2A football on this channel, okay? Doesn't mean you won't see it on the main channel. There will be some football stuff there, but this will be eventually the go-to for the NFL for Black and White sports, and so hit subscribe. If you're new to us in general, this is the third channel, okay? This is the third channel. We got one that's got 320,000 subs, one with 86,000 subs, and this one that is just being hatched. Let's put it that way. So, Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart jumps Shedeur Sanders in Todd McShay's NFL mock draft. It just came out today, this morning, and I was listening to it while I was in the car early this morning and almost ran off the road because Todd actually went there. Finally, somebody went there. Ole Miss football. By the way, I've got Tyler Shook ahead of Shedeur Sanders too. I'm just putting that out there. So let the outrage begin. Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart could be the wild card that shakes up the first round of the 2025 NFL draft. Dart has been settled in mock drafts as the number 3 quarterback and usually projected to be picked after Miami's Cam Ward and Colorado's Shedeur Sanders. I'd pick him number 1 overall, but okay, that's just me. That changed in ESPN analyst Todd McShay's latest mock draft. Okay, this tells you how crappy the Mississippi Clarion Ledger / Yahoo Sports is. Todd McShay is with The Ringer now. He has not been with ESPN for quite some time. He's over at Bill Simmons' Ringer along with Ryan Russillo. McShay projected the New Orleans Saints to select Dart with the number 9 pick. In that scenario, Dart was the number 2 quarterback off the board behind Ward. Sanders went number 15 with the Cleveland Browns, who traded up. And it's an interesting scenario. They jumped from 33 up to 15, and he broke it down on his podcast. It's not nearly as big as a leap as you would think it would be, as it would be from getting from 33 up to 9 or up to 8. Massive difference in compensation. So I see what he did there. My only issue with Cleveland doing that, Tyler Shook, he's faster, and he's got a huge arm, and he's played a ton of games. Got big hands in Cleveland with cold weather and wind and all that stuff. Just pointing that out. Darts, and they could probably get him possibly at 33. Jackson Dart's skill set was part of McShay's reasoning for the shakeup. The New Orleans Saints coach, Kellen Moore, has had success as an offensive coordinator with quarterbacks Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and Jalen Hurts. Dart, who is 6'2", 223, is athletic, a strong-arm passer with similar qualities. Moore is used to a bigger, mobile, stronger-armed quarterback, and those are three qualities Jackson Dart has. Shedeur Sanders is 6'2" and is at 215, but he's not nearly as proficient at scrambling as Dart. Ward checks in at 6'2", 223. Look, and just to give you an idea, I think we're sleeping on the idea that Brian Daboll, he may take a look at a guy like Will Howard, who's a real big dude, like Josh Allen. And if you haven't seen John Gruden's QB camp with Will Howard, it's a hell of a watch. But he's 6'4", 240, and pretty fast. So that's just something to throw out there. Sanders is the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders. Began his college career at Jackson State. Dart is the Ole Miss all-time leading passer. He passed for 4,279 yards last season, which was third in the nation, 29 TDs. Sanders had 4,134 yards. Ward, who McShay has mocked to the Tennessee Titans with the first overall pick, is at number 2 with 4,313 yards. And I'm going to tell you what's real strange. When the draft started getting real strange, was Abdul Carter was mocked to the Titans forever. And Shedeur was mocked to the Cleveland Browns. I will give these teams credit for pivoting if they really do pivot. Now, if Abdul Carter is still on the board, I think the Browns ought to take him because, I mean, if you got Myles Garrett and Abdul Carter on the edges, good luck to all the quarterbacks that they're having to play. I mean, seriously, they're going to be running for their damn lives back there because Abdul Carter, he reminds me of Michael Parsons. I mean, he's that kind of dude. So we'll have to see. Now, there could be some concerns away from the field with him, yada, yada, yada. Travis Hunter, who I think every Patriots fan is hoping and praying will drop to them. I don't think he makes it. I think the Browns take Travis. I think Carter goes to the Giants, and they're going to try to address quarterback needs a little bit later in the draft. So I mean, it's not a great quarterback draft, although I think Jackson Dart should get more love. And by the way, look, I like guys that have played a ton of football. All right, quarterbacks that not these guys that's not your Anthony Richardson types or Trey Lance types that have like 12 to, 13, 14, 15, 16, 12 to 18 games. I like these guys that have 30 games, 35 games, 40 games. That's a hell of a lot of repetition. A lot of different scenarios. He played at Ole Miss, in the SEC. Well, hell, he's playing against NFL talent everywhere on defenses, right? So we'll have to see how this goes. But I'm glad Todd finally went there. It's about time somebody did it. I mean, me giving Todd a shout out on a channel that's got 50 subs on it versus the one that has 85,000. It ain't got the same pull, but it is what it is. It's a good job by him. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.